person. We're either playing VR games or we are talking to VR game developers. If this is your first time here, thank you for coming out. Guys, I want to give the legal disclaimer right now. You are being recorded. This is a live event from AltspaceVR. So hello, friends on the internet. Hello, friends of the Hive. I'm an affiliate of the Hive network, a friend of the Hive. I get to hang out with all of you guys pretty often, and I have a good time, and I meet a lot of folks. So I hope you guys can be a part of this as well. If you're not comfortable being recorded, please leave the event, and we'll see you guys that don't want to be recorded. Otherwise, if you stick around, you're going to get recorded. So tonight's, or to this afternoon's episode is featuring a game in development, or actually it's available. It's available, right? It's not just, are you considering it still in development?
Well, it came out in March as a full game, but I've got like 2 years of plans of updates that I want to keep putting into it.
Okay, so the game is B99, and you can go to my channel on YouTube, and that's youtube.com/SadGamerDad, and you can see me play this game. And I'll talk about a little contest that I started a few months ago regarding this game here in a little bit. But I want to talk a little more with our developer guest today, and that is Jacob Stewart. His development studio is called Iron Stomach, which I will get to you a little bit on that because I'm very interested to know why you named it that. I think I have an idea. I just want to know for sure. So we'll have a little bit of time here interviewing Jacob, and then we will cut over to our good buddy and my good friend and gamer buddy, JustJohn, who's over here. Everyone give a good round of emojis for JustJohn. Woo woo! Now, JustJohn was recently featured in From Other Sons video on my YouTube channel, and Jacob and I were talking before the show, and he recently purchased From Other Sons, and we were talking with John. John's basically an expert at that game. He spent many hours already. I've spent a total of what, an hour playing? And I'm blown away by that game. I got to say that game is something else. It's a very cinematic experience. If you're a fan of space, Star Wars, any sci-fi stuff, you know, I'm always wearing this Star Wars hoodie. I'm really enjoying it. I look forward to playing more with you guys. But back to what's going on at hand. So, Jacob, let's stand at the couch, shall we? Because we can't sit. Altspace, are you listening? How can we sit? I'd love to sit in this room, but we'll stand. Like so B99. Yeah, John's going to sink into the couch. Just have a nice sink into the couch over there. Let's talk about B99. What was your motivation for making B99? Because as you and I have discussed in the past, you've been working on it for a few years now, I think?
Yeah, about 3 years.
All right, so it sounds like a labor of love to me. Is that what you consider it?
Yeah, basically. When I had the DK1 and then early times in the DK2, I was playing a lot of games, and you kept seeing the stuff that would pop up in development, you know. And as time went on, the games that had free full locomotion and fast action, they started disappearing off the radar. And eventually, I just decided, well, if they're not coming out, then I'll have to make one. And so that was the motivation.
So let's talk about what we talked about last night. And we were talking about locomotion and getting your VR legs and how the press from the DK1 era to the CV1. And what we're talking about is the developer version of the Oculus Rift to the consumer version of the Oculus Rift. How there was a turning of the tides from no one was really getting sick that was playing it and developing for the DK1, I guess the DK2. And then tell me a little bit about how you talked about last night about the press started making kind of, you know, what we say here around my neck of the woods, mountains out of molehills. That's a southern saying, right? Anyone from the south can understand that. But you can talk a little bit about that and how that was kind of a thing, and motion sickness and nausea and that sort of thing.
Okay, so back in the beginning when we all got the DK1s, pretty everything was smooth locomotion. Teleport, you know, wasn't even in anyone's head at the time. So VR sickness was now, right? Oh yeah, everything's teleport. But, you know, in the beginning, sure, everybody got sick. Everybody got sick, you know, in, say, like their first week. And the DK1, I mean, the specs were so low on it, it would be so much easier. It was super low resolution. There was no head tracking. I mean, you could rotate your head, but it wasn't positional.
Like this.
Yeah. But eventually, through use, you know, most people got over it. And there was, you know, unfortunately, some people that would always get sick. And, you know, I always kind of felt bad for that. But, and then when the DK2 came out, they fixed so many things that were causing some people nausea, but the numbers shrank even more. But then once VR started hitting in the press and, you know, people started getting worried about a product that could get people sick, all of a sudden you started to see the numbers shift over. And it started to seem more like people are saying it was more often that people get sick. And I just felt that was unfortunate. And part of the problem with teleport is that people don't get a chance to get over it because, you know, they get sick their first time with smooth locomotion and then they just stick to teleport. They never get their VR legs.
Right. Yeah, so we talked about the Gins, what was it, the chews that they were showing off to the press at the Oculus Pass Connects. Like, you get a ginseng chew and chew on that. So I don't have any of that for you guys. You guys are just screwed on that, sorry. So by show of emojis, how many people have actually gotten nausea symptoms that have an Oculus Rift or a Vive? Anyone's actually gotten sick? Because it's never bothered me. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Okay. All right, let me do that. So let me join the room real quick, guys, and I'll just pop right back into to John here. I'll use John as my anchor. Or to Jacob.
Yeah, I think one thing to keep in mind, of course, is that people had a tendency to just, when the media was going off on the nausea, it was mostly because it was based all around demos. People only was on it for a short period of time, and they never got used to it. Like I said, developers knew that they'd get over it, but you know, the media, people who tried it temporarily, that's all they knew about was nausea because they only tried 15-minute stints.
Yeah, so that's we were talking about last night. Is it better? Better. All right. So I spent my first 2 hours in a Dead Secret, and that's I don't know if that's a full locomotion game or teleport. I think it has it's both, if I remember right. But I prefer, and if you watch a lot of the other VR YouTubers, we all prefer full locomotion. So when I first played Jacob's game here, it blew me away because it was the first one I had played that had the full locomotion with both your controller sticks for the Oculus Touch, and also using the Oculus Touch. I'm right-handed, so I use the right one to aim with, and I use my head to kind of go the direction. And so I don't know, is that the same as what people call onward movement? Because we talked about onward a little bit last night, and I
think onward is referring to controller-based, controller directional.
Controller? Okay, so can you talk about that movement at all? Kind of why you chose that. I mean, for me, I love the fact that I can be looking in one direction and aiming and shooting in the other in B99. I think that's really cool.
Okay, well, when the game first came out, it was only gamepad back when it came out in March. I had my Oculus Touch, but I hadn't implemented the controls for it yet. In fact, I was actually surprised that it worked well. I thought there might have been a little disorientation with using, having your arm move in different directions and then using the thumbstick for, turning. But it turned out just after.
I love it.
Yeah, well, it turned out after just a little bit. It was natural.
So you can whip around. You can whip around real fast and be facing the other way to shoot the enemies, and because there's a lot of enemies coming at you in this game. That's what's makes it difficult. And so you guys need to check his game out. It's out in the Oculus Home, and it's $4.99. And did you mention it was in the gallery? So it's in the gallery,
yeah.
And which the games in the gallery. There's a lot of great games in the gallery, but they don't get the attention they deserve and the spotlight they deserve. And in my opinion, I think he's getting punished a little bit for having the full locomotion controls, and which that's just not right. And again, to get back to my VR YouTuber friends, we don't like teleport. I mean, teleport's nice to have as an option, but if it's my main controls, some of my friends like VR GamerDad, who was my first guest in here on show number 1, he just hates it. I did a series of Wilson's Heart. Any of you guys played Wilson's Heart? Anyone in here? Show of emojis. You Wilson's Heart fans? So I love Wilson's Heart for the story, but I didn't let the mechanics bother me. But VR Gamer Dude, my friend Don, he did one video of it, and I asked him, "Say, man, what'd you think about Wilson's Heart? You play it? Isn't that an awesome story? You know, real captivating, throwback, sci-fi, Twilight Zone story, and that's what I like about it." And he's like, "Oh no, that's just totally broken teleport system. I'm not gonna play that at all, man." I was like, "Oh, okay." But that's just right, you know. So once you get past that, you get your VR legs, and I'll get back to that. Is you can play about a week, I think. You and I talked about that. About a week, and you'll be fine. I mean, unless you're just really sensitive to motion, I think a week under your belt will give you your VR legs. For most people, the results are going to vary.
If you have astigmatism, you are more prone to it due to problems with depth perception.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, so
my wife has that issue.
I actually have astigmatism in my left eye. That's yeah.
So I'm wondering if some lens inserts would help with that, because that's another thing. There's been a lens insert come out from the VR. I don't remember the name of the company, but they like the lens insert. Lens Labs, yeah, it's something like that. Thanks, John. And I'm just wondering if those would really help that issue. My eyes are failing due to age, but for now they're still okay. I'm getting a little, I'm getting up in years.
It's a variety of things. Some of us who have gotten used to first-person games over the years are used to separating what we're seeing versus what actually is, so we don't have that. We don't have that mental attachment to what we're seeing as strongly. But people who haven't been playing first-person games a long time may be more prone to it as well, simply because they're believing what they're seeing a little bit more, and they're focusing on the wrong things.
Right.
It's weird. It's a weird psychological thing. It's part psychology, part mental or physical health.
Hey, if anyone's got maybe this is a good idea for a future event here. Maybe we need a training people to have their VR legs session.
Just
I don't know.
Well, it's interesting you brought up the psychology thing, because if you go on Made with Unity, the Unity, the game engine, they have a Made with Unity section. I wrote a paper on there about psychologically getting over some of the limitations of VR, and that's what I put in my paper, is that most of the sickness is a disparity between what you expect to happen and what happens.
And what
happens. So the closest you can get the controls to feel good for a player, the less likely they're going to be sick. I did a test with somebody who was used to mouse and keyboard, and if I gave them a gamepad, they'd get sick. If I gave them a mouse and keyboard, they'd be fine.
So
I've tested this out with AirCar, that little free app that they have on the Oculus Home. It's a good way to test this out, actually.
Yeah.
Like on AirCar, I'm not used to flyers or anything like that. It's not something I'm actually used to, the flight simulators and the like. So I was like, I feel a little bit dizzy playing this. So I started trying to change my perception up. I was like, okay, the world is what's changing around me, not myself. I started thinking a little bit more in that direction, and voila, it went away for the most part.
Yeah, so much of it is psychological. They have this really cool video that NASA put out where it's two astronauts up in the space station, and one of the guys spins the other guy like a basketball. And because
that's crazy.
And because the guy was used to it. Oh yeah, look it up. It's great. But they're trying to show that the brain's an amazing thing. It'll adapt to this different type of stimulus, and eventually everybody gets over that sickness once your brain figures it out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. So while we were having that discussion, I got to laugh because Evildoer over there was doing a spin inside the cylinder that I normally would play a game in, and I was sitting there thinking, hey, he's working it out, man. There you go, overcoming VR sickness right there in their cylinder. Woo-hoo!
Guys don't know
that's awesome
machine.
So there we go. So let's talk about inspiration for the game, because I am of the age, and I talked about I'm losing my vision. And that's why I enjoy VR so much, because I know that, my vision's going to become crap at some point. I'm going to have to get glasses. I'm going to have to get the lens inserts. It's only a matter of time.
Or use contacts. It's not too late to get into contacts.
Gosh, John, I would be awful. You've seen how bad I play From Other Suns. Imagine me with a laser and a contact trying to put in my eye.
It's not
gonna
as
be
bad as
pretty.
you would think. I went 30 years of my life wearing just glasses, and I just recently got into starting to use contacts for the sake of VR, and I'm wearing them pretty fine. I got used to it.
So, yeah, I'm from the age where a little, movie, I won't say the name of for licensing purpose, but a big Disney movie about a kid in an arcade. It gets sucked into the video game. It seems to be the inspiration for your game, and that whole cyberpunk, I guess I can say cyberpunk, that's a culture.
Yeah.
So I have really this year gotten into that, getting back into that again, mostly thanks to some music, which is funny that someone in the Hive turned me on to Robert Parker. I have no idea who it is. I'm still trying to figure it out. It might have been Tim. I don't know. Tim's back. I can ask Tim. But when I first started hanging out with the people from the Hive, with John and Vivian, hi Vivian, they turned me on to Robert Parker, who's a Swedish synthwave musician. I didn't know anything about synthwave. So guys, check out synthwave. Check out Robert Parker's Crystal City record. I gave away his t-shirts and posters not too long ago on my channel. And man, that music is just like, it's so perfect for this type of game. Which is why I told you I really love the music in your game. It's that style. Some of you might think of as rave music, but yours is a little bit more rave than the synthwave. The synthwave is more of a throwback to the actual 80s, like, Miami Vice, that old TV show, had a popular theme. Yeah. That theme song was like #1 in the record charts way back when. So that was a cultural thing back then when I was a kid and used to wear stupid jackets and t-shirts underneath. And maybe I should resume that look. I don't know. I think I'll stick to the Star Wars hoodie and not get too nuts. But can you talk about your inspiration? Because I know you're probably younger than me, and we talked about the history of consoles and how I played the arcade game Space Invaders was my first game to ever play. And I knew I wanted to do something with games from that point on. And then...
Okay, well then. Yeah, that seems to be the habit on. It seems to be the habit on Sundays. Oh, well, I can't relate to what he was talking about. I'm only 30, so I've only I played the classic Atari and arcade games, but I can't really say was less of an option. I mean, I technically was growing up in the Sega Genesis era.
Yeah.
Well, what was your biggest inspiration for going with this theme?
So basically what happened is when I first started off, so my background's in art, and I had to learn programming to make this game. But so when I first got started off, I was trying to use all the sculpting programs. I was going to make something really like a visually detailed. But then once the other things like PSVR showed up on the horizon, Gear VR, I knew I had to tone it back so it could be playable by a lot of my friends have PS4s and they weren't going to get a high-end computer. So then the game kind of I got to thinking. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can hear you, SadGamerDad. I don't know if anyone in the room can hear you. So SadGamerDad said he'll be back.
Yes, he had a system crash. So. Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah, so the style, how that came about is I got to thinking. I was like, what if I took what we thought in the arcade era of like the 80s? So we took the kind of old school sensibilities, something like Robotron, but then we brought them to the height of technology, which is VR. And so I started, and then at the same time I was reading Masters of Doom, the story of, the makers of Doom. And so then the first person shooter aspect came into it, and I started running from there. And as I got more kind of obsessed with retro stuff, I was like, what if I made it a roguelike also? And and it turned out they actually kind of fit together pretty well, and I just kept on developing it that way.
Well, I'm a VR player who can I stay in my games for hours on it. I just play for hours. But over the last year, I've been talking to a lot of various people, and I noticed some people only stay in for an hour or so. So the roguelike is definitely a very good type of genre to have out there because so many people just don't have enough time to dig into their VR, and so playing these shorter roguelikes are probably just what they're looking for if they knew about it. Now, do you plan to bring it to other storefronts, PlayStation and the like?
Yeah. So right around March, what I'm going to be doing is.
He's in Discord.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me if I'm talking to you.
Yes, SadGamer. Come on in. We're shift here. All right.
Yeah.
Keep going, Jake.
So, sorry. What was the last question?
I'm
here.
Like you mentioned before that that you were originally developing it with the lower end sound, not as detailed, because you wanted to appeal to more of the lower front end as well.
Yeah, that's
does that
right.
mean that you do plan to stretch it out to platforms available?
Yeah, very much so. So in March is going to be the anniversary of when I put the game on the Oculus Rift, and I do monthly content updates, just building up. I've got notebooks full of stuff that I want to throw in there going up to about 2 years. But right around the anniversary time, I think it's going to be what I plan on doing with it is then I'm going to start porting it to the other systems. So first I'm going to go to Steam and I'm going to put it, make it, I could just throw OpenVR on this and shove it out as is and it'll work, but I want to fine tune it to make sure it feels natural, it feels good on that, treat them both like equal platforms. And then after that, after all the bug testing's done on that and everything's running smooth, I want to put it on PSVRs because I think I've actually had a lot of people reach out to me that have PlayStation VR, and they've been telling me like, oh, I can't wait till that comes. So I want to get it out probably by June for PSVR.
Do you think they'll have to make some adjustments for the PSVR version, given the fact that it's a system that does put at least a little bit more quality on the controller aspect games versus the motion controls, or would you still try to do your best to keep the motion control?
Can you hear me?
Into it?
Well, so the first thing I'm going to do is, since the game already has gamepad support, that's going to be really easy because the PS4 control and Xbox One, are one-to-one. And so that's going to work right out the gate. Although the PS Move, the problem with that is the lack of buttons. And so far I'm using almost every button on the touch controls.
That's true.
I'm alive! I'm alive!
But I feel Hey!
Sorry guys, my system totally crashed. John, you did an awesome
for that
job.
New computer, right?
Yeah, it's a new build. It's still fresh, so it hasn't burned in. It hasn't had its hours. Oh.
Hey,
gosh.
Stuff. Can you go over here, please?
Yes.
No, Stuff here. Or.
Oh. What's up? So you guys, do I still have audio? Am I still alive?
Yes, you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
Woo. All right. So, Jacob, did he answer the question about I last heard about PS4 development? Are you looking at other platforms?
Yeah. So I definitely want to put it on the PSVR, the PSVR, because I feel like. Console players are going to find it. It's the sort of thing that I think they'll appreciate a lot more too. Sure. They're very big into first-person shooters, and it has that aspect. So I want everyone to play the game. So I'm going to put it on any platform that can run it, basically, as they come out. I even have a version working on the Gear VR. It's a little bit toned down graphically, but it is running. But I kind of want to get the 3 major platforms perfect before I start working on a Gear VR version, because I have to stop doing updates, and I like adding to my game.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. If you need a tester for the Gear, I'd like to test it for you. That'd be awesome. I haven't really tried a first person game on the Gear really. That'd be cool. All right. So where can people go to learn more about B99 besides my channel? You can watch the video I did on B99. Is there anywhere you want to send people, your YouTube or just a website or your development page, or where can they follow your development progress, I guess? What's the best place for that?
Okay, so on my website, and it's Iron Stomach with a dot before the ch, and instead of .com, it's a .ch, just
Okay.
Iron Stomach. And there, I always have my monthly updates, all the patch notes, what's going into it, and then you can also get a link straight to the YouTube page from there. Where when I do a larger update, I'll usually make a video that'll showcase what's going on.
Okay, so your focus on the smooth full locomotion. Do you have another project in the works that you can tell us about, or is it you just going to focus on B99 a little more?
Well, B99, there's a lot of stuff I want to add to it. Probably for at least another 1.5 to 2 years, I'm going to be working on that. But I've been experimenting with a whole bunch of different art styles, different graphics APIs. And I do have a lot of different ideas, going on. If you go to Iron Stomach's webpage, I actually have a couple screenshots of another project that's in the works. And that one's of the genre of Metroidvania. You familiar with the genre? Or?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I hear John making some noises. I think he's a fan. I'm familiar with it, but again, I'm not that great at a lot of games, but I know I appreciate stuff for the art and the story. I mean, that's kind of just the way I am. More than the actual gameplay and mechanics. Yeah, I'm from the era, don't look under my mattress, wife, if you're watching this. So can people contact you? Do you like work with the fans? So after game, they say, "Oh, I've got this idea." I mean, will you listen to them? And they reach out to you. Because we met on Twitter. I mean, are you open to that idea?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love suggestions. Like, if people do a review on my game, or even they put like, "Hey, I wish it had this" or whatever. I prioritize those updates because the thing is I have most of those suggestions already written down because I've been thinking about them too. But I prioritize them based on, what people actually say to me. I'm like, oh, okay, move it to the front of the list. That'll be in next patch. Like that's what happened with touch controls. Okay. I got 2 reviews with people asking for that. So I went ahead and I did that.
I did. I saw that. Yeah, and that's when I followed it and I went, I better check this game out. So we talked about, I'm losing my train of thought. This was a good question, guys. Come on. This is what happens when you get a certain age. You can't remember. So we've covered, let's talk about, I want to get to the contest. So I have this contest on my channel, but I'm going to save that for right now. A leaderboard or a future update so we can track who beats the game. That goes with my contest, because my contest, if anyone can beat the 15 levels, take down the artificial intelligence known as B99, I will give them a $100 Steam gift card. That is an open contest that runs through the end of the year. So now is a good launching point to do that. So can you talk about, we talked about this beforehand. You've beat the game, but you don't, but are you aware of anyone else having beat the game? Because I'm not. I've got this contest, but I don't know that anyone's ever beat it.
No one's ever messaged me about it, but I find a lot of people, most gamers don't usually, it seems like it's the 5% of people that actually talk about the games. The rest of them are just, playing the games, and then they don't get on any sort of social media, to talk about that sort of stuff. So there's probably people out there that have beat it, just I've never gotten a message about it.
Right.
If you do want to beat the contest, now's...
Yes.
If you do want to beat the game...
Any plans to track that?
Yeah, actually, I am going to do leaderboards in the future. That's why there's a scoring mechanic in the game. So eventually the leaderboards are going to have your score, the time it took you to beat it for the people who like to do speed runs, and then it's going to rank that. Probably have the top 10 there, and then continue on with a longer list on the website.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I think I've blabbed enough. I've asked enough questions. I think these are all the good questions that I was wanting to ask. John, do you have anything else you want to ask Jacob? John's always full of good questions. Thank you for when I died, while I was waiting to be resurrected, for asking those good questions.
I don't really have any other questions off the top of my head, at least, but I will say thank you for bringing another game that has at least some sort of classic Warzone-esque styling to it. I mean, the vertice style drawing I love it personally.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, I've talked about how I like the old games. It reminds me so much of being in the arcade and playing Tempest and stuff like that. In those classic games, like he was talking about with the vertice style. And you can go see my video I did on it. I was just like a little kid again, man. It's like, holy crap, I'm in a damn arcade game. I was just tripping me out. So I love it. All right, so we're going to get me into the game. We're going to switch over to just Discord, the three of us here. And these guys are going to attempt to guide me as far along as possible. I will probably die multiple deaths. I will tell you now, I'm going to play wimp mode. I have no shame. I am a wimp. I'm going to play wimp mode. If there was a bell, I need to get a bell in here. Wimp, like a wimp bell. It shoots off or something that makes fun of me. Shoot some streamers or something. But that's what we're going to do, and we'll see. We'll do that for about 20 minutes, and we'll come back here and wrap things up. Does that sound good, guys?
Sounds good, yeah. Good.
All right, so I'm going to just be here in front of the screen, and I'm just going to go crazy, moving everywhere. I think I'm just going to start right here, guys. So I'm going to be a whirling tornado going everywhere. I won't be able to hear you guys here in AltSpace, so just keep in mind if anyone's shouting at me, "Hey, SadGamerDad!" Shout through Gabe. Shout through the camera. Don't literally walk to the camera. Just root me on. Root me on. So here we go. I'm going to go jump in there, and we'll set that up, and I'm going to mute AltSpace. All right, I'm in the game now. Give him 3 seconds as a delay. Of course, I'm going to hear myself, too. All right, here we go. There's my top mine. I don't know if that's me, I guess. 54,256. So here we go. So here we go, new game. Diving in.
All right, I'll do my best.
All right, Jacob has any tips for me? He'll get ready to shout those out because I'm going to need them. I'm going to just jump right in. Where's wimp mode? Wimp mode. Easy, yes. Unlimited lives, but to go back a floor, take less damage. All right, AltSpace people, get ready to see me go crazy. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. It's going to be a delay. It's about a 3-4 second delay.
Yeah.
Play standing?
The cockpit set up that it actually works with standing.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Hole in the center.
That's a good point. All right, so I need to go through this door. There ought to be, there's like nothing in this starting room. Okay, good. So I can go here and find something. Oh no, don't do that one. Oh no, too early, too early. Oh, fine. There's my little asteroid ship. Oh, It moves so fast. That's what's so great about this game. Oh, geez, it scares the crap out of me, too.
Never stop moving is the #1 tip.
Never stop moving. Okay, so I got to kill everything to open the door. Oh, gosh. He's putting a tracker on me. Go away, you eyeball.
Come out next to me.
Yeah, all bullets
Around
are
him,
avoidable.
like this.
They move slower than the character.
Pro tip. What is... Okay.
In a minute.
I can outmove bullets. That's good. Woo! Look at me go.
Oh, and those guys' fields, they drain your energy. So if you find yourself running out of ammo, that's
Okay,
why.
B, resume. All right. Okay. Oh, shoot. What's behind me?
They're like the exploding
gun.
barrels of this game.
Okay. Oh, gosh. That thing, I forgot. So usually I take this thing out and it opens a door. That's what I remember.
Yeah, if you freeze time and play your trigger as quick as possible, you can, if you do it fast enough, you can actually destroy them just with that.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That, and remember, you also have a button if you hold down, you can recharge your energy faster at the penalty of not being able to move.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I remember seeing
Oh,
that
that
in
one?
the video. I felt so bad. I was like, oh no.
I thought this was a shield the first time I played, remember? I told you guys, and if it's going to be misinterpreted, I'm going to be the guy to misinterpret it.
Oh, you can shoot anything, yeah.
Okay, so there's something in here that's going to happen. Can I shoot that? Yes, I can. Oh! What I like to do is get under stuff and hide. It makes me feel safe.
Oh, yeah, well, sometimes there's a...
Okay, this is like
on the side of
upgrade
the wall
pods, I
that'll shoot
guess.
you.
Oh, who shot at me? You did? Oh, ouch. That hurt. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. Oh, I'm trying to reach out.
Yeah, so the blue ones will have weapons in them. The red ones can have both health or the score up on there. Although next month's update, all those score ups are cash for the shop in game. Yep. And by that I don't mean in-app purchase capture.
Hyper shot.
Shop. I mean just you know, vendor in game.
Here we go. Next room. It's an octagon. Step into the octagon. Bruce Lee style. It's gonna go on. It's gonna go down. Okay, I haven't been here. We need to go here. There's gonna be something bad in here. I feel it. Oh yeah. Oh geez. Oh. Oh god. Oh god. That's bad. This is making me hate geometry all over again. Damn cubes. Holy shit!
Whoa.
It's a hamburger. I don't think I had enough. Oh god, I gotta go. I'm gonna die. I'm taking abuse. I'm getting short-circuited. It's trying to throw me out. I'm a virus. Or it's a... Oh, God. Look out.
Yeah, like some of those.
I usually focus on the big enemies. Is that a good idea? Versus the little ones?
Well, with the big ones, I usually like to freeze time and then just, take them out in one shot and then just run away. As soon as you unfreeze time, just get out of there. Oh, yeah, and do not step on those.
Oh, gosh, there's a
hexagons
lot
on
of
the
them.
bottom.
Look how many are behind me.
Yeah.
Bye. I call this thing like the giant hamburger tank. That's what it looks like, a big hamburger.
And with
Don't get me,
those
burger.
hamburger enemies,
I'm having bad
what they're shooting at
McDonald
you is kind
land
of like a boomerang
flashbacks
disc.
from my childhood.
So after it passes you, it can, come back and hit you.
Oh!
Oh.
I think I died. Okay, I died.
Yeah.
Okay, it continuously fires. All right.
The only time that doesn't work is when you freeze time. That one you have to press it as fast as you can.
All right, guys. I'm going to try standing. This is going to be cool because I'm going to try John's trick of spinning.
Yeah, blind fire. That's what I loved when I added touch to it, is the ability to blind fire instead of just aiming with your head.
Here we go. Okay, so here I am in the middle of the room.
Oh, yeah.
Trying not to fall.
Yeah, seriously, huh? Well, and have you guys come across...
Yeah, the menu does give me a
vision
little bit of
distortion
feeling,
trap?
but that's not too much. I enjoy it, actually.
I kind of consider that my barf trap. Probably shouldn't have done that, but...
Okay.
Yeah. Now you can recenter on your touch control if you
Here we
press
go.
the not the home button, but what would be the home button on
Try again.
Yeah, select. Yeah.
Yep. The context. All right, I got it. Recentered. Here we go. And I will tell you, it's a whole different feeling playing this standing. Because I feel like my body is the craft.
You end up using it.
And I take offense to being shot. Okay, so I can just...
It should
Okay,
be A, I
so
believe.
how do you switch between the types of weapons you've gathered? I forget. What button was that? A, all right. So now I've got this one, the hyper shot. And now I've got this little square thing.
Now, as
I've
you
got
get further
that.
in the game,
I like the one that bounces off the walls. I haven't got that yet.
there shouldn't be a bird. I don't believe so.
I think it was
What?
talking about
There's a
the
bird
noise.
chirping in here? Jacob, why is there a bird in here, dude?
Oh. Actually, I think you're outside now. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Oh wait, that's AltspaceVR I'm hearing, I think. I had muted though. I'm hearing it through one of you guys. That's what it was. Okay, I was like, what the hell?
In the game,
Who puts a-
you'll actually
who puts a
get,
bird inside a
upgrade to your
computer?
Weapon systems, and all your weapons will change into different forms.
Yes. There's points. Oh God. Oh. When they put that barrier around me, it really freaks me out. Oh, I'm so bad right now. I'm just doing awful. I forget this. This is the one I had trouble with on the video. Points. Score up.
After we play from Other Suns, you'll have to come back to this because the skills do train.
Don't rush them. Don't rush them.
Same
you notice
movement.
the big guys on the ceiling. That's when you want to use your time stop on. As soon as you see them, pretty much hit your time stop, unload on them, then keep moving.
Now their bullets though will actually destroy your bullets.
Oh, there they are.
Them off center from their cannon.
Yeah.
Nice. Good one. I had to recharge. My health is looking bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need
kinda
health,
old
but that's
school
only
with that.
so
No
the health is
rechargeable.
you got to always collect from a orb kind of thing from a. Right, there's one left. Oh, there he is. It's the big one. Ooh, I love that. That shield.
What?
So shoot it on the side. Wow, nice tip. The insider information here.
Oh, what is this?
Doors
Has
open.
anyone got their mic on mute?
This game is called B99. Dukalish over there is the developer of it. You can
Hey.
answer any questions if you have any.
All right, where are the enemies? Okay, there's one back here. Oh, there's a big guy. Ah, your maker has given me tips,
Oh.
and now I feel.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, we lost the feed. I think we lost him too. Oh no. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, we lost the stream.
You know, it was all inspired by kind of the.
It.
you know,
If I
the
lose
stuff
it,
of
the room
past,
should
you know,
reload
so,
it.
Just kind of different character archetypes that you saw in the older games. Like, you know, I tried to get inspiration from a lot of the old ones. Like, you know, games back in the day, enemies just had patterns, and once you learn the pattern, that's how you, you know, learn to deal with them. And rather than have a whole bunch of enemies that are just kind of like, you know, a palette swap of each other, I decided to make them all have their own separate function. A simple AI, but a, you know, a simple tactic.
Oh,
each
oh
one.
God, I'm almost dead. Yeah, I need to. Back here. Leave me alone, guys. Oh God, there he is. Oh, I'm dead. Dang it. I'm obviously very rusty. So, don't... Not stopping time and doing the multiple shots. Okay. All right, here we go. Third time is the charm. Maybe I'll actually make it to level 2. So bad. So when people start asking me what my name is, SadGamerDad, I'm gonna say, you know, sad also means like not good at stuff, right? Okay, that's pretty. All right, back we go, back we go.
Oh, the @ symbol is, you know, that's in all the old roguelikes, your main character was represented by an @ symbol. It's also on your vehicle too, if you look on the sides of it.
Oh. I am part of the vehicle, so I feel like I should stay with it. I am the vehicle. I'm your vehicle, baby! There's an old song.
Oh no, internally I think of it as like Professor X's chair. It's like it's a hover wheelchair of some sort. Okay. Oh. Huh. I'll have to look that up just to see.
There goes his birds
Also,
again.
you know, the spheres, they act as like kind of
I'm so
moving
confused.
mines.
Is
So if
this
you
this
explode when
live
enemies are
stream
around, you can
or-
take out a group of enemies. That's what
Oh.
Hey, but it gives you a chance to dodge too, because if you're holding, holding off to the right or something, you can strafe out of the way.
Oh, what got me?
I've had a few, moments where I pause time and I look to the left and I just see something coming at me.
Whoa, dude, that's not cool. Let's shoot for me from the wall. Okay, here we go. Unlock. Thank you. Oh gosh, that got me. Okay, I can't take any more of that. Bye-bye. Bye, Felicia. That is a long haul. Look at the size of this haul, guys. That's, whew, look at that corridor. That's insane. Now, Jacob, have you considered making the ability to fly or jump to get up on stuff? Like get up here?
Well, the problem with adding jump this late into the game is that I'd have to rewrite all the AI to, make sense of it all.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so... Oh yeah, like if you play Robo Recall with the smooth locomotion mod,
Shoot it, blow it up.
You can just kind of dodge everything.
Or not.
It doesn't pose a challenge anymore.
Yep.
Now the
I'm out of
first
juice.
the month update coming up though adds 80 new
I am
rooms
out of
to the
juice.
game, with a lot of different like height changes and multiple stories. So that's going to be a fun one to play through. I'm just going through the final. I play through the game a couple times right before the patch just to catch any little bug that might have shown up from adding new stuff.
Yeah, most PC gamers can definitely deal with the minor bugs. It's when you have a glaring major bugs that becomes an issue. But of course, those you have a higher chance to find.
Yeah. Like I updated to the latest version of Unity, and everything was working fine except for the giant ball of death that chases you around turned invisible, and I was like, oh, I gotta fix that before patch.
Ouch. I can see how that could be an issue.
All right.
Okay, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here and come back, and we'll finish up the show. Because man, I could just sit and play this, but I know I'm gonna die real soon. So. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump out of the game.
So how long did it take to make this game?
Exit to title. Jacking out, yeah, cyberpunk. You hear the term, I'm gonna jack in and jack out. Love it.
Jack on and jack off. We're good.
Yeah. Well, so far it's been about 3 years in development, but
go back
I'm still
over there,
doing
guys.
about 2 more years of updates, monthly updates. goal is to kind of double the content over the next couple of years.
I was behind the screen last show when I finished. Holy crap. Look at me laugh like a dork. How appropriate. All right, where's the camera? Oh, there you are. Gabe, where are you? Woo! All right, guys, thank you for coming out. Let's have a big hand for Jacob and B99. I love that game. I need to play it more. I wish I had time to play a lot of these games a lot more. And thank you so much for being here and being our guest. Go check out my YouTube channel. Go check out Iron Stomach as well, ironstomach.ch. And I'm SadGamerDad, sadgamerdad.com. I've got the $100 Steam gift card to the first person that can beat B99. So you take a screenshot or something if you get that far, but this game is seriously a challenge. I mean, John, did you think it's pretty tough? And did you play it in regular mode, or were you a wimp like me?
Oh, I'm playing in regular mode, but yeah, I'm finding it to be quite a bit of a challenge still. I mean, there's a lot of enemies. They spawn at different points in the room, so you got to keep that in mind while you move around. Definitely got to make more use of the time stop.
What's that? I just like to squeeze the trigger and shoot stuff, man. I like to watch it go boom and knock at all the pretty colors.
Oh, I do have a question though. Why B99? Why call it B99?
Okay, so that one's kind of a weird thing. So it's a little esoteric. When me and my buddy were kids, we used to play an old Super Nintendo game called Lufia 2, and it had this bonus dungeon with 99 floors. And we called it the B99 growing up. So when I started working on this, thank goodness it's not 99 floors, but originally it was planned that way.
Oh my God. Okay, so if it's 99 floors, I'm gonna have to up the ante of a little bit over $100 gift card. That's worthy of like $1,000 or something. I mean, holy, wow. Well, thanks so much for coming out. That's awesome. Anyone else have any other questions? Or Jacob, you go ahead and expand on that if you want. Anyone got any questions from the crowd that's still here?
Yep.
Oh, we got a hand raised over here. How do I work the hand thing? I'm going to take a question.
I think we're all just one room, so it don't matter.
Will,
Will,
you got a question?
Did you get sick when you played the game, or nausea, or something?
I did not. And early on, we talked about the VR sickness, and getting your VR legs is kind of what the industry, what the gamers call it. I spent about a week playing any VR game I could that had full locomotion, and that pretty much made me fairly immune to it. Probably in this game, like John talked about earlier, the starting menu where you got that tunnel, where you go into a tunnel as represents going into the system. That's probably the only thing that makes my stomach feel a little weird. But if you just try it in small amounts, like 15 minutes at a time, I think you'll be fine.
I think given the fact that the game's designed to be short, it actually does make a pretty good VR leg trainer. I mean, just for that sense. It's small, and the number one hint I can give to anyone, like if you do have tendencies towards motion or simulation sickness, number one hint I can give to someone is as soon as you start feeling sick, take a break. Never push it. You're just going to make it worse for you over time. So really, you just need to stop, and eventually you'll get there. I mean, I haven't really met many people who have it permanently. Most people do adjust over time.
Yeah, yep. It varies by individual, so not one person, may have different results, but the incremental thing is good. Brian, you got a question?
Yeah, I have one question. Can you tell me the price again on the Oculus store?
So it's $4.99 and it's under the gallery. So $5 and it's
all
under
right.
the gallery.
Thank you.
You bet. Anyone else? It's been an hour, kiddos. So I want to thank everyone for coming out again. Let's have a big hand for my guest, Jacob Stewart of Iron Stomach. Whoop, whoop. You guys.
Thanks for having me here.
All right.
And also for my compadre, Mr. JustJohn. Whoop, whoop. All right, well, I've been SadGamerDad. You guys have been all of you. Stick around afterwards if you have any further questions. Otherwise, we will see you 2 weeks from now on that Sunday in December. So thanks, everyone, for coming out. Take care, kiddos. Woo-woo. Thanks, Coaster.